What's going on, family? It's the Lucky Libra here, and I just want to drop a quick energy update on y'all, all right? So before we get into the sun being in Pisces and the moon in transit in Capricorn right now, let's just run over some energies that we transited last week to understand how we even got here, because we had a Scorpio moon transit last week. So with the sun in Pisces and the moon in Scorpio, I was saying earlier in the week, this is going to be a lot of experiences dealing with the people you're connected to, dealing with your passions, dealing with people, places, and things that's correlated to certain deep motives you had, energies you was keeping behind the scenes, whether they're positive or negative, secrets or not, regardless, everything that was behind the scenes and deep emotion and things that were in the dark was raised to the surface some, because that dark water, that heavy Scorpio water, that fixated water saw opportunities to connect its passions and how it really feels with the Pisces sun. All right, we got two different water signs, and with it aligning in that type of way, all type of opportunities were arriving in our vicinity, dealing with us being able to connect our emotions with others, dealing with less vulnerability, connecting to others, more passionate about our intentions with our aspirations, dreams, all right, a bit more expressive about how we truly feel with things correlating to our dreams, our passions, our motives, our ambitions, what we want to embark on, what we want to set intentions on. So we was in a state of finding more fluid ways to relate and connect these things, but we also were in a state when it comes to our deep emotions. We may have even, had some heavy releases of the emotions in some type of shape or form, in a positive or in a detriment. Okay, and at the end of the day, it's the Lucky Libra, man. I'm always going to tell y'all to have an optimistic view on whatever you experience in life, because everything is a learning experience, whether it seems negative or not. If you could take a jewel away from it, it's a positive. So we went through them type of transits, some ups and downs with the emotions within a quick period, all right? And then it led into a Sagittarius moon transit this weekend. When the moon is in Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter, and the sun is in Pisces, which is ruled by Jupiter, we're dealing with a weekend that, when it came to us expressing all that deep emotion or coming more in contact with some energies that we kept behind the scenes, now when it was the weekend, we were trying to raise our vibration, raise our mind into a higher place to really understand and learn from our experiences, learn from the connection of the emotion or the transformation of emotion that we may have experienced in that short period of time during the Scorpio moon transit. So everything with Jupiter is dealing with expansion, learning from your experiences, all right? Seeing where you can extract the gems from your experiences. This is where the benefits of Jupiter come from, all right? Not just being dropped on your lap, but what you're able to extract from an experience to put in your backpack and keep it for the next spiritual travel, the next experience. So overall, dealing with these energies, we want to understand now that we're experiencing a Capricorn moon transit, this is leading up to a new moon in Pisces by the end of this week. Okay. And when we're dealing with new moon energies, we know this is a time for new intentions. This is a time where we want to burst all our new dreams, aspirations, intentions, goals, visions. We want to throw all of that energy into the universe, all right? It's a great time to project new things. A lot of people talk about when is a good time for certain transits to launch a new business, express a new concept, brand, whatever it is, push something out to the collective, to start something. New moon time is a go for anything that you are starting, that you're giving life to, that you want to open up opportunities for. So that's something to always keep in mind. But to have the most fruitful and clear platform in order for new people, places, and things and opportunities that correlate to what you want in your life to come to invite itself and make its way into his life in a welcoming manner, we want to make sure that slate is as clear as possible when we get to the new moon. And we do that by making sure we're correlating our reactions and our frequency vibration and the thoughts and feelings and the way we process them through the transits of the moon, making our way up to this new moon. So overall, with these energies, we want to stay on track with this Capricorn moon transit, stay on track with this Aquarius moon transit throughout the week. And then when we get into the new moon in Pisces, it helps us to give us the best clear space in order to have these things be reeled in, attracted in. You know, the moon deals with receiving and attraction. So depending where our emotional stability is at, depending where our feelings and thoughts, aka our internal energies, because the moon does deal with your thoughts. It's just that it don't sit on the thoughts as much. Lets Mercury deal with them things, all right? And then Venus and Mars come and divide the feelings, how they deal with them things and process them. But the moon is gonna process all of that in its totality. Anything that's internal, the moon the moon got dibs on that. All right. So we want to make sure we understand what the sun in Pisces and moon in Capricorn, what type of energy that really is. We know the sun in Pisces is helping us to see new ways to deal with our dreams, new ways to express our creativity, new ways to come in contact with our imagination and find ways to cultivate it into reality, okay? We know this Pisces energies there's a lot of energies that's been thrown in the air to create opportunities for illusions, to deal with different ways to learn about the emotions, especially through the way we've connected them to others. We're learning a whole lot about that right now. And I said this Pisces energy is the end of the year. We're getting ready for the new year in Aries. So it's always going to be in a recollective, in an evolution state of being when it comes to us in collective. In general, all of us, all right? By default, us being in this point of the year, we could all be trying to get a healthy reset by making sense of what we've accumulated throughout the year. So that's like the state everybody's in right now in Pisces season. We could all be in the dream world, some type of shape or form right now. But with the moon transit in Capricorn, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, dealing with reality, structure. It's rugged, it's sturdy. It wants to work on something, wants to build something, it wants to use something. It's not dealing with the emotion here. If anything, that makes it uncomfortable. It feels like that distorts the vision of what it's trying to build and structure. So here, with the moon transiting into Capricorn on Sunday and starting the week, right now, we're all being influenced to take our dreams that we're paying attention to right now, take our emotions that we've been connecting, exchanging in this mutable water energy, and see how we could make it more concrete and work on them in an efficient way. We've been in Pisces season long enough before this new moon, which is dealing with setting new intentions with how we deal with our dreams and our imagination before Aries season. We want to use this Capricorn moon to refine things right now. All right. We want to use this moon to put the finishing touches on certain things that we know had certain kinks and errors when it came to our dreams and how we pushed them out, and things that we learned from others by pushing our dreams out and the results that came back from these things. Everything with that Capricorn energy is going to have to deal with some form of structure, organization. When it comes to our responsibilities, things on the to-do list, what has to be constructed within efficient time management like manner right now to start the week. All of these things got to be in point, especially when it comes to your dreams, aspirations, imagination, your creative endeavors right now. And this is not a time, this is a sextile, so this is going to create right now as the moon is harmonizing with the sun. So we're being influenced to work on things right now, see how to I like to say Capricorn deals with construction work in some type of shape or form, because we got Saturn here. Aquariuses and Libras having Saturn influence as well is gonna, in some type of shape or form, is gonna be construction work done in reality. So with the moon transit in Capricorn, we're doing construction work, but more so on our dreams, more so on our emotional state. This sextile provides us to kind of have a fair blend of emotions and creativity with structure and reality. So people that have this type of alignment, sun in Pisces or Capricorn moons, or Cap suns, Pisces moons, some type of shape or form, they do a great job in learning how to blend their imagination with reality quicker than others. Now they're gonna go through a lot of situations where they may lean on one or the other side and realize that's how they gotta bring the other side together. But we all dealing with all different type of alignments with our sun and moon, whether they're sextiles, trines, squares, oppositions, and whether they're quote unquote negative or harmonious. They will have their trials and tribulations. They will have their situations where you have to learn to evolve and expand within the lesson that you're learning with your planets, or within the gifts and opportunities and access to certain energies you brought into this lifetime. Is always going to be, universe always going to make sure you're making the wisest use of what you have. Okay, so that's the energy we in right now, family. We got to be real efficient to start the week, especially how we deal with time management, especially what we understand and what we putting time into. Saturn, Capricorn, all that energy deals with time. Saturn rules time. So if you have certain energies with Saturn squaring your sun, your moon opposite your sun and moon, you got to understand when it comes to your emotions, how you react to things and what you're putting your emotion into and what you're paying attention, what you're taking action into. A lot of things is going to be restricted at times. You're going to have to learn how to put more time into things. And that's anything that's hitting that's hitting Saturn in a negative alignment. All right. Even in a conjunction, which is a power or a sextile or trine, the way Saturn is hitting something is going to slow something down because it deals with a slow temperament. All right. So, we are in a state where we want to be in the present a little bit more, make more sense, try to look at our dreams way in a as realistic state as possible right now, because we may have manifested a number of illusions at this point. So this is like a period for us to try to gather that and be in the present and get our energies together, prepping for this new moon. So we also got the moon trining Uranus. Okay, so that's the energy we was dealing with on Sunday, more so harmonizing with how we could, transform what we're working on. All right, how we could add a different touch on what we're working on, looking at different perspectives to see how we can connect our emotions or structure, our creativity, and that may even have created some situations where we may have been heavy self-reflecting, processing a lot of thoughts pertaining to what we're doing creatively, in a creative sense. And then we got the moon, as it's transiting Capricorn, is going to be sextiling, the sun and Neptune in Pisces. So we just spoke about how it's hitting the sun, but Neptune is up in there, got that boost of creativity, got that boost of belief, all right, and imagination and faith when it comes to our actions right now. So not only do we have this influence of all this belief and faith, that's what develops illusions as well. You putting too much belief and faith into something and not sizing up with some bit of reality with how you're attacking what it is that you're putting belief and faith into. So as the whole Pisces season, I've been saying, we either going to be, a lot of it's going to be swimming in heavy illusion. We're going to be dealing with more belief and faith and being able to feel like we're more connected to our dreams, or seeing how to cultivate our dreams in a more clear way, with more clarity. All right, I told you gonna be real clairvoyant type of energy in the air, but we riding both spectrums with this energy. Damn near, it's like illusion on Monday, inspired this shit on Tuesday, back to illusion Wednesday, Thursday. So in different type of shape or form. So I already know y'all, we all experiencing it. All right, y'all. So that's the energies we basically dealing with to start the week. Now we got the moon is going to be in contact with Pluto to start the week today, all right, on Monday, until it moves into Aquarius. So we already understand Pluto going to transform whatever it comes in contact with. So we want to prep ourselves for Pluto transits or alignments dealing with Pluto. And you want to understand the alignments you have with Pluto in your chart, because these are going to be energies that's going to play out as lessons that you need to transform, learn to evolve, learn to always put expiration dates on. In your previous life, you probably manifested Venus square Pluto because you ain't know how to evolve and transform from your pleasures or whatnot. They started making you stagnant in life when it came to your true passions and desires. Or you got, moon opposite Pluto. So a lot of the times the way you deal with your emotions is opposite from what is it that you need to be transforming into this lifetime. Your emotions be on a whole different page, and then there's a whole other area of life that it might be a whole bunch of passions and desires you got over there, but you don't be paying attention or making sure you're nurturing and connecting to them situations, and a lot of transformative situations be going on. So now you're getting all type of distress with your emotions going up and down, because you now understand that's the influence that is going to give you in this lifetime. So I'm doing an aspect class on my Patreon this week. I'm going to have it up on my website sometime a couple of days after the class, and we're going to be diving into aspects. So, and I'm going to continue to break these, what aspect alignments are as we, dive deeper throughout the year. But it's very important to understand certain energies hitting, your Pluto. and where Pluto, what house Pluto is in your chart. That area of life always going to be going through some type of transformation, and you always want to be spiritually prepped to see what needs an expiration date in that house before Pluto transform it in a whole other way wasn't trying to experience, So that's that. Now, we got the moon moving into Aquarius after Capricorn. All right, we know what that Aquarius energy, okay, is dealing with some more transformation, more emphasis on reality, but it's more so how we're starting to connect that some more too. So we got Aquarius, which is air, so it's some communication relatability energy, okay, but it's a dry air though. It's reality air, like pinpointed, sharp. All right, and the sun in Pisces, both relatable energies, both dealing with connecting. Okay, so we got the moon in air. The way we feel is going to be in a relatable energy, and we're going to be processing a lot of thoughts, especially about other things other people are communicating, and we're going to be influenced to connect to that in some type of shape or form with the sun in Pisces. So when I see this type of energy, it could play out in a lot of ways where the way that we think about things, we try to start, aligning it with how we feel about things, and we could start blending things the wrong way. Okay, moon in Aquarius has a real detached way of thinking about things, and that's what makes it so individual, but that's also what makes it real transformative at the same time, because it comes off rebellious. The sun in Pisces dealing with connecting, so we could be in a state where we're having strong ideals about something and feeling compelled to connect them, compelled to relate them. So it comes off a little bit lighter because Pisces is a more harmonious energy, but understand we're going to be in this relatable energy with the moon after the moon transits Capricorn. So we know we prepping for the new moon in Pisces. So let's not jump into the middle of the week. And, we slide into this moon in Aquarius transit, and now we communicate certain things that's dealing with our emotions or whatnot in a real direct, in a real, because Aquarius don't beat around the bush. Aquarius energy don't beat around the bush. So when it's at the moon, it's y'all gotta understand how strong the Aquarius energy is. That's why it was a whole bunch of shit going on this past Aquarius season. Aquarius is strong energy dealing with that Saturn and Uranus influence. So some Aquarius could be way too much for people to handle, all right? Could be way too intimidating, too real the way they communicate, all right? And Pisces just adds the feel into things. And depending on what illusion some of us may be in, the way we articulate ourselves at the moment, we're gonna feel like, we're gonna have such a strong conviction with our ideas about things. So we just really want to stay in the present as we make sense, because this week has a moon. This whole week has a realistic feel to it, even though the sun is in Pisces, because we started it with the moon in Capricorn and Aquarius leading up to the Pisces moon transit. So it's like right before the new moon, we get to do construction work. We get a gap to communicate with the moon in Aquarius. We get a gap to communicate more realistically when it comes to our emotions, because we may have not been communicating realistically when it comes to our thoughts and emotions the past 2 weeks. So this week leading up to that new moon, we get a chance to do construction work in these areas as much as possible. There's going to be opportunities to mend things or bring more reality to certain illusions or certain situations that your emotions are up in the air about things that's connected to others. All right. So this is what we want to keep in mind with that. And then we got the new moon in Pisces. I'll be doing a reading for that, for the new moon transiting in the houses, to understand how that's going to be influencing you. All right. And then, just real quick with Mars and Gemini, shout out to my mutable signs. I hope y'all good, man. Shout out to my my Virgos, my Sagittariuses, and my Pisces. Pisces ain't getting. You see, the thing about, even though Mars is squaring the mutable signs, Pisces got the sun and Venus in Pisces right now. So Pisces kind of moving strong right now. So, Pisces could be in illusions right now. Pisces could be expressing themselves in a certain way right now, but in some type of shape or form, they winning situations, winning debates, arguments, because it's just the energy be on your side. It's like your season. So you got some competition with somebody. You got some, it's their sun season. You might want to cancel. You might want to make sure the moon transit in your sign or something. You might want to cancel that, all right? Because people will just be having the power with the sun in their sign. But Pisces, I hope y'all not taking advantage with y'all power. I hope y'all not utilizing that extra mystical energy to throw veils under people's faces to have your ways with the emotions. Because Pisces, you guys get real strategical with how you want to connect to things based off how you feel about it. Remember, we got Venus is exalted in Pisces, and it's in Pisces right now. So when a planet is exalted, it could overdo it. It could exhaust itself doing it. It could be aggressive doing it. It could overwhelm itself doing it a lot of the time. But it's its gift though. All right. It's a part of its archetype. It's something that when it comes in contact with it, it knows how to deal with it. So Pisces, when it comes to love, y'all can overdo it. And y'all get strategical about how y'all try to solidify some love in y'all life. So try to utilize this week to get more grounded with, your emotions and what you're creatively into, if you feel like you've been in the air a bit, during Pisces season. All right, yeah, I promise y'all there's going to be some energies to get y'all to feel more in the present and more stable throughout this week. You just got to be able to really be true with yourself about how you may have been unrealistic. Sometimes that's a hard pill for some people to swallow. Being able to look in the mirror and see how they, provoke the situation or whatnot. So the more we can do that, the more we can grow, the more we can evolve, the more we could shed dead skin. Okay. And we get into Aries season, which we giving birth to a whole new us. All right. And but back to Mars and Gemini. So, Pisces got Sun and Venus. So it ain't killing them like that, but y'all still getting hit. So overall, the mutable signs may be off rip. And with this week, it may have been a little distortion with the way you've been able to communicate, relate to others. All right. The way people may have been coming off real critical about your passions and your intentions and whatnot, and it may start to frustrate you mentally in some type of shape or form. So Mars gonna be hitting y'all at a funny angle throughout this next 2 months. So the way you communicate and relate, and the way you adjust your individuality on your thoughts and how you're working on things is what needs to be the focus for you guys. Okay, but overall with Mars and Gemini, with all this other Pisces energy that we're experiencing, we've been aggressive communicating things to others. We've been less vulnerable expressing how we truly feel to others, and it could play on positive ways and detriments. Okay, Mars brings a whole lot of passion to how we communicate, and I was saying that early last week when Mars gets into Gemini, the way we communicate is going to be more sped up. I feel like I've been talking fast as shit in this video, my damn stuff, and I'm already at air signs. So air signs, we getting hit in a harmonious angle with Mars, but Mars don't really correlate with air for real. Mars, like, even though a planet isn't like Mars is debilitated in Libra, and it's in its fall state in Cancer. So you don't have to have, like, just because Mars is not in Libra or Cancer, planets still be having elements and energies that ain't really their forte. Okay. So you can have a planet that's not exalted or not in its home placement, but it's somewhere kind of relatable. So, for example, like, once again, Mars don't really like air. It kind of resonates more with that, with like fire energy, something it could burst out from. But it resonates with, it got its home in Scorpio, that's water. It's exalted in Capricorn, that's earth. But overall, when you get into that air energy, Mars don't like to relate. And air connects, relates the message. So that's where it's a little, get a little funky there. But so air signs by default, the way we create all type of opportunities to push out our thoughts right now with Mars in the air element, period. Okay, whatever energies is in your element may not be in your sign, may not be transiting your particular sign, but energies in your element is they affecting you in a way where, you feel like you got a whole bunch of access to that energy. So air signs could feel real sped up with the way that they communicate and relating. Time in the day could feel real fast with Mars and Gemini. All right. Just a whole lot of you processing a whole bunch of thoughts real quick, thinking you doing a bunch of things. You ain't really doing shit. You just thinking about a whole lot of shit. You getting burnt out mentally, but it's a whole bunch of new ideas to do things, a whole bunch of new intents you want to set on things. That's why I told y'all starting last week, we have to know what is it that we locked in on doing right now, because it's easy to, entertain new things with Mars and Gemini. As easy as it is to pick up new information about things dealing with our passions, goals, our intentions, as easy as it is to be thrown off track and start paying attention to other things, because it's such a quick energy. All right. And Mars is just on go. So when it's in an element that's like air, is open and relatable, it's just on go. It's expressing whatever, it's connecting to whatever, it's pushing its anger and frustration out very quick. All right. So it's just something to keep in mind. As we know, we're trying to be grounded this week. We're trying to make sense of things and clear our slate. But these are the influences we got to watch out for that could throw us off our rocker in a little bit. And we want to understand how to use these energies on a positive spectrum to make sure we straight for the weekend. All right, family. So we're going to continue to get into these energy updates, especially towards the new moon in Pisces towards the end of the week. Hope you guys have a prosperous, productive week. Peace.